Welcome back, everyone, to the Rifter number 14. And in this segment, we're going to talk about questions and answers by Rodney Scott and Sean Merrow. This one specifically is about skills in the Palladium Megaverse, how to adjudicate them between dimensions, how to deal with them in your own dimension. If you want to change them a little bit, if you want to do some other things, then this is the Q&A for you. Let's check it out. And first thing, can you take the same physical skill twice? A lot of new Palladium players ask this. Well, what if I take weightlifting twice? Do I get double the bonus to my physical strength? And the answer is no.
Oh, but
You
I want to
cannot
be
take the same
super
physical skill
strong.
twice to receive double the bonuses. Generally, the only skills that can be taken twice to give a bonus are domestic skills. And usually that means you do it at a professional
Right.
level.
Yep.
So like me, I'm a home cook. I've been cooking for my family for almost 20 years. I can cook food that tastes fine and it definitely won't kill you. But it is not, Michelin star restaurant level stuff. If I studied for like 5 years, 10 years in France or whatever, then I would have been the equivalent of taking the skill twice and I would be a professional level cook. Are the stats on
Instead, let's continue with that skill thing real quickly though. Instead, your percentile keeps growing because you can do more now than you could 20 years ago, and do it quicker, better, more efficiently. So
Yes.
so that's your percentage chance going higher, but you haven't brought on those professional skills by going that further step of taking the skill again,
studying it, in a more specific fashion like that. Are the stats on the wilderness hunting skill in the Rifts RPG applied one time or every level? This one is not for a lot of people since they are bonuses. They're only applied one time because they're any skill that gives you flat bonuses. You cannot take twice and get double the bonus.
Sniper gives you +2, I think, or target, whatever. I think it's called sniper.
Yeah.
It gives you +2. So every level I get +2. That'd be awesome.
No, that's not what happens.
Oh.
Can the physical SDC bonuses from physical skills apply to MDC beings? And the answer is no, with a caveat.
Oh.
Here's the deal. If you are an MDC being and you take weightlifting, the bonuses for SDC for weightlifting was like 4d4 bonus SDC, don't work for you because you're an MDC being. This amount of work will not make your skin tougher. This is crap amount of work compared to what you are. But if you were originally an SDC being and then go into a high magic environment, that changes you into an MDC being, which can happen if you go from Heroes Unlimited to Rifts, or you go from Ninjas and Super Spies to Rifts. You could become an MDC being, and then those SDC bonuses are added to your hit points and then makes your total MDC. That will still work because you built your body up while it was still mortal-ish. It's the magic that turned it into MDC, so you still get to keep your bonus. You still built all that muscle. You still thickened your skin. You still did all that. And it worked. So in that instance, yes, it will. But every other instance, no, it won't. In Heroes Unlimited, one of the skill programs listed which a high school graduate can take is Rogue Skill. Well, Rogue Skill is the same thing as the Professional Thief Skill program. Just that's what it meant. So that's more of an errata than anything else. Are the skill programs listed in Heroes Unlimited the only available skill programs? No, they are not. The Game Master can make up skill programs as he sees fit. If you want to be an Indiana Jones professor / adventurer, you're going to have to pick and choose from different skill programs, or just make a new skill program. The Game Master can make a new skill program for you. Or if you want something like, I want to be specifically a glider pilot. Well, if you're a glider pilot, you wouldn't take, airplane engine mechanics because you wouldn't have an engine. It's a glider. So you wouldn't have that. You would take glider pilot, but you wouldn't take any powered aircraft piloting because you don't do that. You're a glider pilot, stuff like that. So the Game Master, depending on your game and your specific profession that gives you these skill programs could make up some on his own, change out the ones you have to make it more, toward your vision. And that's fine, but that's up to the game master and you to hash out on your own. When selecting skill programs in Heroes Unlimited 2nd Edition, do you receive all the skills that come under the category as well as the ones from a related category as they are listed? For example, if you select Basic Military Skill Program, do you get all the other military skills in addition to the ones listed under the basic program? No. The basic program gives you the skill list that program will give you, and that's it.
And if you get actually, so just say choose 4 or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, usually at the end, there will be choose 4 other skills.
Yeah.
From this skill category. That's all the other skills that weren't specifically listed. So in that instance, you have choices, but you don't get them all. Like if you have a military program, you don't get all military skills. If you have a thief program, you don't get all thieving skills. It's just the skills that are listed under that particular program. Plus, like I said, like he said, usually at the end, you get to pick anywhere between 2, 3, 4 other skills from certain categories. If I pick hang on. I forgot over here. Ha! Yeah, I just wanted to show him. At what percentage do my skills start if a character is level 1? At the base skill percentage, plus any possible bonus from IQ and occupation/education. Now, that's all it says here. But as you level up in most of Palladium games, you will pick up new skills. They start out at the effective level of 1, which means they start out at the base level, and every new level it gains by 1, 3, 5, 7, whatever it says in the skill description. A lot of newer players will assume that I'm 5th level, I get a new skill, I get it at 5th level ability. No, it's a new skill. You just learned it. You just became proficient. It starts off at the back of the bus, just like you did at 1st level. What is the maximum skill percentage? 98. In 98% of circumstances. There are some OCCs, RCCs, and some specific skills that can go over 98%. But your roll is usually going to be a 0-1 and a 0-2 is a failure. All of those extra percentages will offset minuses. Will offset, like, I'm trying to pick a lock. It is an alien lock and it's raining and I only have 1 arm.
Just to avoid any comments that we get in the future, he meant to say 00 and 99 are failures.
Sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah. Everyone knows what I was talking about. But if you have 140% in pick lock, then it's going to absorb the minuses that you're going to get for having only 1 arm, for doing it in the rain, for it being an alien lock. And the best you could do at the end is 98%, which means a 99 or a 00 will be a failure. But if you didn't have the overskilling, then all of those detriments would eat into that 98 and bring you down to, like, say 60, 50, 40, whatever. So only to offset problems. If I pick acrobatics, gymnastics, and tumbling, what will my sense of direction, backflip, and climb rappel skills be? Do I just pick the highest one, or do I get a bonus from all 3? You use the highest skill. If you have 2 different skills that give you the same special ability, one of them will likely start at a higher base than the other. That's the one you take. The higher skill level one. That's the one you take, the highest level. You don't get a bonus to both. You don't get a bonus to one or the other. You just take the highest one and you're fine. I run a trans-dimensional campaign, but some of the skills from the various books may have different percentages and base levels, or may not exist in some settings. What should I do when my players want their characters to learn new skills? Generally, only the skills of the dimension they are currently in will be available. That makes sense. Unless the characters brought with them the material to learn a more advanced skill. Like if you have a book, cooking how-to from Heroes Unlimited, and you portal rift over to Palladium Fantasy, and you want to study cooking from your world, you can study your book. And you'll be studying cooking from your world. So if you get a skill from that book, it'll be the skill from Heroes Unlimited book.
Thank you, Betty Crocker.
Exactly. But if you learn a skill in Palladium Fantasy, it will be at that level. For example, if you learn the carpentry skill from Heroes Unlimited, you're going to learn not only how to nail two boards together, polish them, straighten them, but you're going to also learn most power tools, higher level techniques, stuff like that. But if you learn carpentry from Palladium Fantasy, this is going to be medieval level stuff. The best you're going to be able to do is like wooden pegs if you don't have nails. That's the best you can do. Power tools, forget it. You'll have no training in power tools at all. So when you go back to the Heroes Unlimited universe, sure, technically you have carpentry, but you can't use a sawzall. Can't use a planer. Well, a manual one maybe, but and any motorized tool, it's not going to work. You have no training in it. You're going to cut off your fingers. So bear that in mind. And if you learn a skill in a different dimension, you will start at the percentage level for that particular dimension. So Heroes Unlimited Carpentry starts at 55%, and the Palladium Fantasy Carpentry starts at 35%. You learn it in Palladium Fantasy World, you're going to start at 35%. That's how it is. All right, what else we got? Can a character learn skills at any time, regardless of OCC and the learning of new skills given through OCC training? Optionally, yes. In the Heroes Unlimited book, under the skills section, there is a page 48, that allows you to go to school to learn a skill. Now remember, Heroes Unlimited uses skill programs. You don't get a whole lot of skills after first level because all the skills you get are not OJT, they are learned. They're either taught by a university or school or trade school or whatever, or taught to you as a kid by your parents or driving instructor or whatever. There's not a whole lot of gaining skills after you get past level 1, but there is a rule for it. You can go to community college, you can go to certification classes, and you can actually learn a new skill that way.
And go to night school.
If you want to port that ability to another campaign setting, you can. It's fine. Do I really get 25 experience points every time I use a skill? No, you don't. It's every time you use a skill that was either thoughtful or useful. Okay? Thoughtful or useful. Just getting up and tying your shoes, if you have a skill for tying shoes, you can't just check off a box saying, oh, I used the skill. No. If you get in the car and drive to work, you can't just check off a box, say I use a skill. No. This reinforces the idea that skill rolls should not be used unless there is a significant penalty for failure. If there's not a significant penalty for failure, then there's no need to roll the skill. Therefore, you're not going to get 25 experience for it.
My rule of thumb is always, is the outcome unknown? And is the consequence of that outcome meaningful? Does failure matter? Does success matter?
Right.
If
those two getting up and driving to work 99.999 times out of 100 is going to be an insignificant part of your day. It's just going to happen. So you don't get a skill roll. Now, if there's a hurricane that day, well, a skill roll. Yeah, okay, fine. Why are you going to work, dummy? No, whatever. You're going to work. Skill roll. Got it.
Emergency essential.
Yeah, you will get 25 experience points for making that skill roll. Fine. Great. Other than that, no. Do I roll for using a skill or does my GM do the skill rolls? Normally, you will roll the skill. Normally. Unless the circumstance dictates that you do not get to know the result. Then the game master rolls the skill. For example, if you are rolling for lockpicking, you will know at the end of that skill roll whether you succeeded or not. So there's no reason for the game master to roll it in secret. You can roll it because you're going to immediately know if you succeeded or failed. The lock will open or the lock will not. But detect ambush, that's different. You don't immediately know if you succeeded or failed until something happens. Then the game master should be rolling that because the outcome is not apparent. Okay, we move over here. All right, do I need to roll a percentile die every time I use a skill? No, we talked about that. Unless it's important or the failure has some kind of detriment, there's no need to roll the skill. How are the pilot and horsemanship skills to be used? I have ruled that every time a PC starts a vehicle or mounts a horse or whatever, he must make a successful skill roll to do so. Stop. Full stop. I'm not even reading the rest of the question because the person who asked this question is not ignorant. They're dumb. No, you do not need to roll horsemanship every time you get on a horse. You do not need to roll your drive skill just to start a damn car. These are automatic parts of being skilled in that thing. Like, for example, if you have skills, if you have a skill in revolver, you get cleaning and maintenance of that revolver, knowledge of it for free. And you don't need to roll. Under normal circumstances, you never need to roll to clean your gun. Because this is not the real world, you're not going to leave it loaded because you never make that mistake because you're actually skilled. So you don't do that. So no, you don't need to roll just to start a car. You don't need to roll your driving skill. Just to get on a horse, you don't need to roll your horsemanship skill. If special circumstances are afoot, then yes, if this horse hates you, or if this horse is a polymorphed human being and doesn't want you on his back, maybe then. If this car has been fiddled with in any way, it may not start. Or if the game master purposely gave you a beater or something, maybe it just won't start. I don't know. But under normal circumstances, no, you don't need to roll skills.
But even then, even if the game master gave you a beater, unless you're trying to get away from somebody, or you're in a time crunch, so you have to get somewhere kind of quickly, so you need to drive or whatever, who cares if the car starts or not? Like it should only matter. It really should only matter if the character is or the situation provides some sort of duress.
Right.
If the outcome is unknown, and if the result of that the die roll is meaningful, having that beater car, and I get what Heathen Dog's saying, and this isn't about him, just putting out that beater car. Don't be a dick game master and roll every single time that the person wants to go to the grocery store and pick something up, or has to run a quick errand, unless it's meaningful to the
story or the meaningful to the player's goal.
Right.
Like, I have to get to the courthouse in 10 minutes. Well, then the car not starting is meaningful and has a great detriment if it doesn't start.
And you like to hit that gas pedal too many times and flood the stupid thing out, and
Yep, it's a carburetor. Like I said, it's cheap. All right. What is the purpose behind the skill RPG design, and why can it not be selected using Ninja and Super Spies? The skill is considered an inside joke, and if you look carefully among all the Palladium books, you will find a lot more such jokes buried amidst the text, and especially the art. So if you want to find some more of these, have a careful look at all the art and text throughout all the books. Of course, if you combine Ninja and Super Spies with other Palladium games, the skill may become available for selection. Again, yeah, it's a joke skill. Someone put it in there, thought it'd be funny. Let it go, man. I'm having trouble with my players trying to use skills they don't have. Is there a base skill percentage that should be used in this situation? Parenthetical, the players are trying to perform a logical and reasonable task, i.e. trying to locate a door that a villain had gone through. For attempting a task that they're unskilled in, a character should roll percentiles versus an applicable attribute, IQ, ME, PS, PE, whatever, meaning that you take your flat attribute skill that the game master has deemed most appropriate for this situation and try and roll equal to or under that.
With percentile dice. It's a skill roll.
With percentile dice. So it's never going to be big. Never going to be big. Like, if you do not have advanced mathematics, but you have an 18 IQ, you're really smart. Maybe you picked it up. You look at you try and do it. You have to roll an 18 or under to succeed. There you go.
There are some skills that still, no matter what,
There
if
are
you
some
have
skills, and it usually says so in the skill description that it can only be used trained. Usually, it's professional skills like psychiatrist or medical doctor or whatever.
the one I always use is flying an airplane. Sorry, but
Okay,
without
yeah,
training, you can't fly an airplane.
you can't fly an airplane without training. A boat, sure. Motorcycle, try it out. Car, why not? But a plane, no. You're just a jart at that point. You're just gonna die. Can my character at later levels learn skills which are not allowed to be selected under his OCC description? The ability to learn skills at later levels which are not allowed to the character class is ultimately up to the game master. Generally, with learning any skill, the character must have opportunity to be able to pick up the skill either through practice or study or having a teacher. This means that if the character spends years in a desert away from a suitable supply of wood, he probably would not be able to learn carpentry and boat building. Probably not.
Makes sense.
But the short answer is no. That's the short answer.
I mean, that's why there's limits applied.
Exactly. Yes. That's why there's limits to secondary skills. There's a special secondary skill list for all OCCs because these are the things that you could feasibly learn in your line of work. Now, if you want to be a super special dude and you're a level 1 headhunter, but you don't want to be a headhunter anymore, you want to be a scholar. Okay, you wasted a lot of people's time. You could have just rolled up a rogue scholar, but you know what? Whatever. Most of your skills are worthless, and you're going to have to learn all these other skills without the OCC bonuses and through a great amount of time and effort and probably money. If an RCC can pick an OCC when picking skills, do you get the RCC skills, the OCC skills, or both? Generally, if an RCC selects an OCC, they lose their RCC skills unless stated otherwise. And this otherwise statement is they lose all skills that aren't specific to their race. For example, if the race has wings, the race may have acrobatic flying as an RCC skill. You, as that race, will have acrobatic flying, but you may not have herd tending or sewing or carpentry or, I don't know, nest building. I don't know, whatever. Because you didn't bother to learn the entire cultural history of your race and learn skills that are appropriate for that. You decided, no, I'm a little kid. I wanted to be a juicer. I'm a juicer birdman. Well, you can fly because that's a racial ability, not a racial skill. So you could learn acrobatic flight as a skill. Great. But you're not going to learn any of the other RCC skills. They will be replaced with the juicer OCC skill set. All right, here we go. How does total recall affect skills? May be able to speed up the learning process, but does not give you any bonuses. Total recall is a psionic ability, and it allows you, even after a very long period of time, to remember the basic gist of very, very academic text. So there is a world out there where a game master will allow you to learn a skill faster because you remember more of the information in a shorter period of time. That makes sense. What sort of penalties are there for using skills? Okay, there are plenty of modifiers in the books. Like Heroes Unlimited has a lot of modifiers. If it's alien, if it's unknown, if it's magical, whatever, it's going to be minus this, minus that, minus this. This is a small list right here. You can pause it. This is more errata than anything else, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. All right. Is there a psychiatrist skill anywhere in your books? And if not, what would be the requirements to be and what would the skill proficiency be?
I'm sure Kevin loved that question.
Yeah. As for the psychology skill, it can be found in Beyond the Supernatural First Edition, currently unavailable, so we'll reprint it here. Its base percentage is 40% plus 5% per level. The skill falls under the science category for skill selection purposes. So if you were to be Heroes Unlimited and you want to be a psychologist, you could make this the psychologist uh, the skill list, and psychiatry obviously would be in it. Also, therapy and some other junk would be in there too. It'd be up to game master to create the skill program, but there you go. You can do that. Is there a skill currently for making ancient melee weapons such as swords, spears, and axes? The fashion tools skill, which is found in the Yin Sloth Jungles, page 45, has a base skill of 25 plus 5% per level. Other weapons can be made using carpentry for wooden shafts, general repair for small, simple metal objects. The field armorer skill will allow arrowheads and the like to be made. Arrowheads, probably bolts, stuff like that. Really, you have to find the closest skill in your book. Closest skill in Heroes Unlimited would be something. Closest skill in Ninjas and Super Spies would be something else.
Would be the, what are you talking about? It'd be the operator.
You'd be the operator, OCC, or PCC, whatever. What piloting skills are required for a CS Sky Cycle? A Sky Cycle. It's pilot jet fighter. What about motorcycle? Dude, it's a flying motorcycle. It's not the same. It's not the same. And it's not a hovercraft because it goes way up in the air. So it's not that either. It's pilot jet fighter. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, now this question right here is for the revamp for the Cyber Knight. I have a 5th level Cyber Knight character that I have been playing for a while now, and I just saw the updated Cyber Knight OCC in the Siege of Tolkien, Book 4. Do I update my character or leave it as it is? If I do update it, what should I do to update the character? Okay, the answer to this is it's up to your game master. Your game master decides if he's going to use the updated Cyber Knight or the original 1990 whatever version Cyber Knight. And the big difference is the updated version Cyber Knight has living cyber armor that grows with the Cyber Knight, and he has the 6th sense for technology. So if something's targeting him, he knows it, and he gets an automatic dodge to computer assisted targeting stuff like that. Does the game master want to update his game with this new information? If yes, then you update your character as needed. If no, then it's not going to matter because it doesn't exist in this world in Rifts. There you go. Can a Mind Melter or other Sonic character create more than one Psy Sword? No. And only the updated version of the Psy Knight can dual wield Psy Swords. In the original version, even the Cyber Knight couldn't do that. And that's it. That is our Q&A. So if you had any skill questions, I hope some of these answered or pointed you to the answer. And hope it worked out. For you.
It's funny because I think most of those answers were common sense. At the same time, those are questions that do, even now in 2025, constantly pop up. Maybe not some of the more esoteric ones like the Psy Sword thing, but
if the do skill stack.
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
Yeah, those questions do pile up. I think those answers are still relevant for today. I think there's only one in there I thought was a dumb question because I really felt that, any reading of any of the books, answer, I forget, is one closer to the beginning. But with that said, you got to remember that.
Oh, no, the pilot and horsemanship. Do I have to roll every time the PC starts a vehicle or mounts a horse?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. No, dummy, no.
He might be asking that though because the game master is being doing some douchey stuff. I don't know, but ultimately no. I think that was a good list of questions. I think that this is one that people should come back to and take a look at. Whether you buy the Rift or watch this video, do both and refer because man, I can't tell you how many times in comments. And I'm gonna forget that was in this episode. Like I know we talked about that at some point, but this would be the episode that it was in.
Yep. All right. What do we have for pinned comments?
Did I pin anything? I don't know. I guess I did. Once was a spectator of a knockdown drag-out fight between two players and the GM and another player concerning the plus 5% per level, and if it applies at level 1. Our group lost a player that day.
It does not apply at level 1. It applies at every level going forward. That is another easy mistake to make. That is another common question for new players, along with do these bonuses stack if I take the skill twice? That's
My
right up.
issue, no, that was the one that I actually thought was dumb. That was the one that I thought was dumb. Do my bonuses stack?
Yeah, but it happens all the time.
For how do I say this? Yeah, no, I get it. I guess I'm really hyper focused on like the sniper skill. It's +2. Everybody should know that that's not +2. That would just destroy the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one right here, the part that got me thinking more was like, I have seen these fights.
Yeah.
I haven't seen somebody leave a group over it, but I've actually seen this specific fight because I know people who read it one way, whether it's right or wrong. Remember, the game master is ultimately the decider. So if the game master says, yes, I believe at first level you get the +5 bonus, fine, I'll add the +5 bonus
that's
in.
a house rule at that point because
Sure.
it's not rules as written. But
the part that the player leaves the game over that.
yeah, a
over
knockdown
5%
drag out fight. It's not that important. Is 5% going to make or break your character? No, man. No, it's not.
It's just whatever the game master decides at that point. Rules as written, obviously. No, you don't. But if he wants to house rule that, well, you shouldn't do that. How about this? I'm running the game, and if you don't like it, go run your own game.
And that's exactly what happened.
It's just weird, man. But I've been part of that argument way back in the day.
Yeah.
So
I've done it both ways. I've had it done to me both ways. So
I fail my native language skill all the time.
yeah, a lot of the games start you off at your native language skill be somewhere between 80 and 95%. So failure is an option.
I still look at it like this. If you're having a conversation with somebody, you don't have to roll.
Yeah. If it's a technical conversation or if it's detailed instructions, stuff like that, then a roll would be necessary.
You need something very specific, yeah. Then in that case, but I don't even generally have people roll their native language.
No, I don't do it either. It seems like a waste of time.
And then regarding learning skills from another OCC, would it not be simpler to let the character multi-class a level and then come back to his original OCC? Say a vagabond in Phase World might become a level 1 spacer.
Okay, that's if you now you have to allow multi-classing. Right? I mean, that may not be a thing. I've never allowed it in a Palladium game. No, you spent years learning this. Why would you want to spend more years learning something else? Because if you truly think you can be, say, for this example, a vagabond, do vagabond stuff, but be studying for years to learn all the skills to be a spacer at the same time, you're a ridiculous person. That's not how it's going to work. You're going to be in a spacer internship for years, learning to do spacer things. You're not doing vagabond things anymore. You're definitely not adventuring. You're not. So multi-classing in Palladium is dumb. Now, multi-classing in other games is a little more understandable, especially if the classes are similar. But the two you chose here are, I don't know, man. I don't know. But no, you have to allow multi-class and do that. I wouldn't even do that. But learning a skill from a school using the Heroes Unlimited 2nd edition rules for that, I would allow that. It will take time and money. You're not going to get it today. You're going to get it in 6 months, a year, whatever. But yeah, I'll allow that. As long as you have the trainer, the proper facilities, stuff like that. Sure.
Right. That's all I started.
Okay. Well, then that will be it for today. I want to thank everyone for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And stay tuned for the next segment where I'm going to be talking about the Atorian Empire, the empire of Amazon women from space.
On the moon. Oh.
Nope, not on the moon. Not on the moon.
That's great in space.
Great movie, but wrong genre.
Okay.
We'll see everyone next time.
I gotta get the other stuff up. There we go. All right. Thank you, everybody. Please like, subscribe, and share. And look forward to the Atorian Empire.